Nobody expected the New Orleans Saints to kick off OTAs like this. Just months after saying goodbye to Derek Carr, the Saints didn't tiptoe into a rebuild. They walked into camp with fire in their eyes and competition at every corner. And leading that storm, a quarterback battle that's already turning heads, featuring a rookie with something to prove and a second-year signal caller looking to rewrite his story. The Saints aren't easing into anything. They're testing every piece of this roster like the season starts tomorrow. But here's the twist. This isn't just about who's taking snaps. It's about a franchise redefining itself from the ground up. New head coach Kellen Moore is flipping the script. No veterans, no safety nets, just raw talent, youth, and a full-blown battle for the most important position in sports. And the shocker? Spencer Rattler, once written off, is already making waves with the first-team offense, looking sharper than anyone expected. Tyler Shuck is right there too, flashing big arm promise but still adjusting to the NFL speed. Every rep matters now. Every pass is part of a bigger question. Who will lead this team into a new era? And this is just the beginning. Because when you look past the quarterback room, something even bigger is unfolding. Deep in the trenches, where games are won and legacies are built. The Saints' offensive line is being reshaped right before our eyes. New faces, bold moves, and one former first-round pick standing at a career crossroads. So now the real question becomes, who's going to protect the guy under center? That's where we're headed next. But before we get into that, hit that like and subscribe button for more Saints and all the NFL content. Let's aim for 500 likes on this video. The quarterback competition in New Orleans isn't just real, it's already heating up. On the very first day of OTAs, Spencer Rattler stepped onto the field and made a statement. Calm, confident, and locked in, he went a perfect 8 for 8 during 7-on-7 drills, building quick chemistry with Chris Olave, a connection the Saints barely had a chance to see last year. Rattler wasn't rattled. He was composed, precise, and looked like a man on a mission. For someone who spent the offseason being doubted, this was more than a good day. It was a warning shot. Meanwhile, Tyler Shuck isn't backing down. He followed up Rattler's performance by going 7 of 8 with the second team, showing flashes of what made him Kellen Moore's handpicked quarterback. But Shuck's day wasn't flawless. The speed of the game clearly pushed him. Decision-making lagged, reads were slower, and you could tell he's still adjusting to NFL tempo. That's not a knock. It's normal for a rookie. But here's what makes this battle fascinating. Shuck isn't being eased in. Moore is throwing him into the fire early. Every day the reps rotate, no favoritism. Just a test to see who can rise when nothing is guaranteed. And that's the energy surrounding the Saints right now. Urgency, hunger, and zero room for comfort. Kellen Moore isn't looking for a name or a draft number. He's looking for a leader. Someone who doesn't just complete passes, but commands the huddle. That search is still wide open, but it's only half the equation. Because the guy who wins this battle will only go as far as the protection around him allows. And next up, we're heading straight into the trenches, where the real war is already underway. There's no safety net in this quarterback room, and that's exactly how Kellen Moore wants it. Most teams with this much uncertainty would scramble to sign a veteran, someone to steady the ship. But not New Orleans. Moore has made it crystal clear. This is a youth-driven offense, and the future starts now. He's betting on preparation over panic, trusting that leadership can come from the coaching staff instead of a 12-year NFL journeyman. That kind of gamble, it's bold, maybe even risky. But it tells you everything about the direction this team is heading. What's even more surprising is that Moore isn't just avoiding free agents. He's turning the heat up internally. He believes the best way to develop a quarterback is not by shielding them from adversity, but by throwing them into the storm. Every rep is earned. Every mistake is examined. And the battle between Rattler and Shuck isn't about who's safest. It's about who's most ready to evolve. That mindset, it's creating a quarterback room where the coaches act as the steady hand, pushing these young players to lead by action, not age. But here's where it gets even more intense, because this strategy only works if the pieces around them can hold. A young quarterback without protection is a disaster waiting to happen. So now the pressure shifts to the guys up front. Because if the offensive line can't hold, it won't matter who wins the battle under center. And that's exactly where we're going next. The frontline decisions that could make or break this entire Saints experiment. Something big is shifting on the Saints offensive line, and it's not just depth chart drama. This unit is being rebuilt with precision, and the coaching staff isn't wasting time testing new combinations. Day 1 of OTAs revealed a bold new look. Kelvin Banks Jr. locked in at left tackle, Eric McCoy solid at center, Cesar Ruiz holding down right guard, and Taliesin Fuaga, the rookie mauler, back at his natural right tackle spot. These weren't random moves. This was a calculated reshuffling meant to return players to their most dominant roles, and it could change everything about how this offense functions. But the spotlight is on one name, Trevor Penning. Once seen as the left tackle of the future, he now finds himself trying to win a job at left guard. And here's where it gets complicated. Penning has already bounced between multiple positions since entering the league. That kind of constant adjustment can stall growth, mess with technique, and shatter confidence. Yet, Moore believes there's still something to unlock. He's praised Penning's toughness, his attitude, and his willingness to adapt. Now it's about finding the right fit and doing it fast, because the Saints don't have time to wait. And it's not just about Penning anymore. Behind him are Dylan Raduns and Nick Saldiveri, both fighting for snaps, both capable of stepping in if Penning falters. This competition isn't just about who gets the job, it's about who earns trust. Because protecting a young quarterback requires 5 linemen moving like one. The moment that breaks, everything else does too. The Saints offseason isn't just about position battles, it's about survival. And already some key names are sidelined. Taysom Hill, one of the team's most unique weapons, is still rehabbing from a serious knee injury suffered last year. He's not just missing reps, he's missing valuable time in Kellen Moore's new system. That delay could limit how creative this offense becomes early in the season. But Hill isn't alone. Foster Moreau, Jake Haener, and rookie corner Quincy Riley are all dealing with setbacks. And while none are considered long-term, every day off the field is a day someone else gets ahead. The quiet concern here isn't just the injuries, it's who's not showing up. Alvin Kamara, Tyrann Mathieu, and Demario Davis were all absent during early sessions. These aren't rookies or backups, these are cornerstone players. And while Kamara traditionally skips OTAs, the fact that all 3 were missing raises questions about early leadership. Moore is trying to build culture from the ground up, but that's hard to do when your veterans aren't in the building setting the tone. Still, there's a silver lining. All injured players were seen working off to the side, present, engaged, and staying connected. It's a sign that the team believes they'll return by training camp. But there's another storyline quietly brewing, one that could define how this offense actually performs. Because while the spotlight has been on quarterbacks and injuries, one name keeps showing up, and not for the reasons people expected. Chris Olave isn't just sticking around, he's becoming the centerpiece. And the rumors surrounding him? Let's just say they've finally been shut down. Here's what really happened. For weeks, the noise around Chris Olave wouldn't stop. Trade whispers swirled. Teams like the Steelers and Browns were reportedly calling, testing the waters, hoping the Saints might be open to a deal. But now that speculation has been crushed. According to multiple sources, including Albert Breer, New Orleans didn't just reject those inquiries, they shut them down cold. And it wasn't a hesitation. It was a firm no. Olave isn't on the block. He isn't going anywhere. And that decision sends a massive message about where this team is headed under Kellen Moore. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, because from quarterback duels to Olympic dreams, this offseason in New Orleans is just getting started.